Kia ora Fairfield College community. Great to be able to speak to you this time and to talk about the COVID-19 situation here at Aokura. First thing I want to address is where we are with the students who have contracted and staff. So yes, these things are escalating and these things are ramping up. But I do want to address, if we go back to the first case on Monday, I just want to assure you that the process that we followed in identifying who were close contacts and who were not close contacts was a procedure that we worked with the Ministry of Education in identifying. So really what it came down to under phase 1 is that a student had to be with the case or the person who had contracted COVID for more than 2 hours. Okay. For that particular person to be a close contact, and because there were no students that was with this particular student, or shall we say the contact, okay, or the case who had contracted COVID-19, because there was no one that was with them for more than 2 hours in the school day, that meant that there were no close contacts, and that is because the case was wearing a face covering in those classes, in the confined spaces. So that's the first thing I want to assure you, how we identified that particular situation where there were no close contacts. And so once again, this was worked out with the Ministry of Education and spoken to them, who were also following the directions that they received from the Ministry of Health. So here we are. Tonight we are going to phase 3. And what does this mean to Fairfield College? What does it mean to the school? Okay, well, actually it means the same as it does to every other school in New Zealand. And the main change that's going to happen is how we identify people who have to isolate. So at this right now, like on Monday, so we had this thing called close contacts who are required to isolate. Moving forward, so from tomorrow, what we learn is that the only people who are required to isolate are those who have either contracted COVID-19 itself, or those people who are in a household. So they call it a household contact. So if you've got somebody in your house who has COVID, then you have to isolate. All others can continue with their normal business. Obviously, the key on that, of course, is the government are asking us to manage ourselves, manage our situation, watch our symptoms, and just look after. And if we note that we're not feeling well, we need to go through and take the correct steps, which is to go and get tested. But only get tested if you're showing symptoms. Okay, so please be assured that at Fairfield College we're still following all the health measures that we're required to follow. We ask again for you to continue trusting the school, to keep on sending your students to the school. Know that we're doing our best, we're following all those requirements. What I'm asking of you is we've just got to make sure that we're not sending students who are unwell to school. That is probably the most important thing that you can do as father, is to support us as a school. Is first of all, yes, send your students to school. Fairfield College is a safe place for them. Don't send them if they are not well. That's really what I need to say to you to this day. Again, thank you for your support. For us as a school, we are determined to stay open as long as we've been very, very fortunate that we haven't had to go to any type of distance learning, and that's because our staff have been able to, one, avoid COVID-19 themselves, or nobody in their household has contracted COVID. And I'm going to say that we're fortunate in that situation, because going to phase 3, just today it's 6,137 cases. So those numbers are going to climb. Again, work with us. We will be working with you, and it's important for us to stay open as long as we possibly can. And what I'm going to say to you, take it, it's your choice to make, but it's really important for your children also to come to school, I believe. Yes, they can go to distance learning, and that's always an option, but it's that face-to-face contact, it's that social contact, it's that emotional contact, it's coming to school, which is also very important. Again, thank you for your support. Kia kaha, be strong, kia toa, be brave, and kia haumaru, be safe. Kia ora.